Grand Theft Auto Vice City. GTA Vice Grand Theft City Auto. Vice Grand Auto Theft City in the city of Vice City. Yeah, no, I didn't really write an intro, but now you and the algorithm know what the video's about, so.
Wow.
When I was a kid, I never actually owned this game. I was too young, and my parents thought that Vice City was too sexy.
Pecs and you have biceps and I can handle it.
If I wanted to run down the beach with a chainsaw, I'd have to do it at my friend's house. Now, like most kids, I didn't give a shit about the story. Mostly because I just didn't understand what the hell was going on.
Hey ladies, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to make love like a man.
I mean, what is drug, and why do these women want to get in my car?
I would do anything to get money. And by anything, I mean, I'd probably suck.
But never mind that. Now that I'm an adult and my brain is able to comprehend complex plot lines, such as being Italian in Florida,
How the does that help?
I decided to give Vice City another try, but actually pay attention this time. And I did it on PlayStation 2. I'm just kidding. As nice as that sounds, I didn't use an emulator. I used the defective edition. And yeah, I know, these remakes kinda suck. Trust me on this, I already made a 30-minute video about it. I'm not gonna ask you to subscribe, but I already have them, so this is much easier. Plus, emulators might as well be technological seance circles. Who knows what kind of demons they're putting into your PC?
My computer went to hell. My computer just went crazy.
Vice City begins with a bunch of mafia bosses talking about sending some guy who just got out of jail down south because he sucks. We are the man that sucks, Tommy Vercetti. Cool name, cool shirt.
In that shirt.
Getting to Florida, we meet our contact in Vice City, an annoying Jewish lawyer named Ken Rosenberg. Just want to note that he's not annoying because he's Jewish, and there's no correlation there. He's annoying because he's annoying.
Shut up, Ken.
I am a bitch. In fact, I generally describe myself that way.
And he's also textbook Jewish. Our first stop in this new city is a drug deal involving a helicopter, so at least we know it's big time. Of course, this gets ambushed and we're left owing a large debt to Sonny Forelli.
That was my money, Tommy.
And I need it now!
Sonny Forelli is a stereotypical mob boss, and he's the guy who sent us to Vice City in the first place. It's painfully obvious that we're set up by him. Homie literally has all the drugs and money sitting right in front of him, while he acts like he's pissed at us on the phone.
You better not be screwing me, Tommy, because you know I'm not a man to be screwed with.
It's fake.
But now that we're living the American dream and have an unfathomable amount of debt, it's time to go the way of the Florida man. Crime. The first mission might as well be a cutscene, given to us by our lawyer Ken.
I told you, shut up. I'll go myself.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being a bitch.
It seems like he wasn't in on the master plan because he's also losing his mind thinking we're screwed.
We are so screwed, man.
But all we have to do is kill the guy who set up this deal. And to do this, we go to a boat party. And in doing so, meet all sorts of elites from Vice City. There's politicians, tight ends, more drug dealers, and even rock stars. Get it? Like the game developer's name. And holy shit, can we talk about the voice casting for this game? There's so many recognizable voices. Ray Liotta voices Tommy. You might know Ray from his role in the cult classic Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Bear is actually just the movie sequel of Vice City. And if you actually think about it, it does kind of make a lot of sense that Cocaine Bear would be the sequel to Vice City. It's not crazy. Burt Reynolds voices a crooked land developer.
Now nothing brings down real estate prices quicker than a good old-fashioned gang war.
Jenna Jameson voices an actress. Luis Guzman voices a shorter version of Scarface. Danny Trejo voices a gang leader that's obsessed with balls. And Gary Busey voices a deranged army veteran, which is pretty much just normal Gary Busey. And that's not even everyone, but I feel like I'm just reading a list, so I'll put the rest of them on screen. Maybe. But yeah, whoever voice casted this game gets a gold star from me. After the boat party, we run a few more missions for Ken, we intimidate some jury members, start a construction worker riot, and beat up some chefs.
Today we're making chicken pot pie.
This last mission is important because we meet our boyfriend, Lance Vance. Later on in the story, we won't be able to emotionally provide for Lance, and this will lead to a messy breakup.
I'm gonna bend you over and right in the ass.
And yes, Tommy and Lance are in fact in a romantic relationship. Some guy on Reddit said so. One of the more notable missions from the earlier part of this game is the infamous Demolition Man mission, where we plant bombs at a construction site using an RC chopper.
Oh my gosh, I'm heading towards the ground.
I've seen memes about this one, so I guess it's universally hated, but honestly, y'all just need to get good. This was super easy. After these first couple missions, the game really kicks off and we start selling drugs, of course. Vice City's story mainly comprises of 4 steps. 1. Become drug lord. 2. Make friends. 3. Acquire assets. And 4. Dispose of enemies.
Come and in my face, you ask for that, everybody.
So first, we must become a drug lord. Naturally, since we're new in town, nobody respects us, and there's only one way to get respect, and that's drugs.
See this cute little vial here? It's crack, rock cocaine. You think it's the glamour drug of the 80s? It can kill you.
So we set our sights on Ricardo Diaz, an angry little Scarface ripoff.
Fool! Fool! Fool!
And cartel kingpin. Our first goal is to kill him, since he's likely the one that robbed us at the beginning of the game. We do a few missions for him in order to gain his trust, including one where we fire a machine gun from a helicopter. Now, I could imagine this mission would be painful with a controller, but because I'm on PC, I could just switch to mouse and keyboard, giving me aimbot level accuracy.
You can be a murderer, but one thing I just don't tolerate is a cheater.
This is how I pretty much played the whole game, mouse and keyboard on foot and controller in vehicle. So much easier on me. Eventually, Diaz catches our boyfriend, Lance, trying to, I don't know, f him or something. After we save Lance, we can finally get our revenge and infiltrate his mansion. Killing him was frustrating, because after a cutscene, you'd immediately get thrown into a gunfight, and he's already shooting at you. The only time I've seen this loser shoot a gun so far was when he was killing a VCR. I don't believe his accuracy should be this good. After we kill him, we just kind of move into his house and take over his business, so I guess we're rich now. I feel like you get this endgame mansion way too early into the game. I did like 5 felonies, and now I'm living in Jeff Bezos' old house.
My favorite part of his house is the house's ability to change the world.
And with that, we complete step 1, become drug lord. Well, we're not exactly done. Before our coke mansion can start generating income, we need to complete a mission called Copland. This is one of the most frustrating missions I've ever done in my life. So basically, we need to lure 2 cops into a garage and steal their uniforms.
Take off your bands.
Then we drive to a mall, but every NPC in a mile radius of this mall is now a cop. Literally, everywhere you look, it's just cops. Our gang set up a bomb in the mall, and unfortunately, it didn't go off as planned. So now we need to go in there and trigger it manually. Easy enough, but right after the bomb detonates, we get a 5-star wanted level. Fucking perfect. You know, y'all should be glad I'm playing the definitive edition, because if this game did not have quick saves, I would have had an aneurysm and just... Getting away from the cops was the worst thing ever. I attempted this like a dozen times, but failed almost every time because of flat tires. It's like the game knows how frustrating having your tires popped is and purposely tries to flatten them every chance it gets. I had nightmares about these random dickhead street cops just chucking a spike strip in front of me at the last second. Eventually, I was able to escape to the beach where I could dodge the cops' bullshit long enough to get to the waypoint and finish this mission. And with that, we are now a powerful cartel boss.
I ate octopus and tonnefish.
Next, we need to make friends. I mean, sure, we're good friends with a real estate mogul and an army colonel who owns a yacht.
I knew you would not let me down.
By the way, this Colonel Juan Cortez has a daughter named Mercedes. Yeah, no, she's a total whore throughout the entire game, which is funny because he asks us to look out for her after he leaves. And at one point, he's upset because he thought that she was studying to be a lawyer.
These stories I hear, she really going to be a lawyer? Tommy, the shame.
Yeah, no, she was just... But anyways, we need to get more friends. Better friends. A music producer we intimidated a couple times for information invites us to hang out with a popular band named Love Fist. We get them drugs and kill a stalker that's been harassing them. They also need security for an upcoming gig, which leads us to cozying up to a biker gang. To earn their trust, we of course have to prove ourselves. First things first, we need to show them that we can ride a bike by winning a race. I shit you not, the AI in this game is so bad that I was able to win this race without even starting on a bike. I accidentally hit triangle and tried to steal the racer's bike in front of me, and despite starting 20 seconds after the NPCs, I still won very easily. Pretty much every race in this game was the easiest thing ever. Later on in the game, we will take advantage of this by repeatedly winning a street race that pays out $40,000 each time, because the other AI racers have the mental capacity of a chimp on PCP.
One great goose, baby!
But anyways, back to making friends. The Cuban street gang in this game is a bunch of guys who are obsessed with boats and men's balls.
Show me you got some big cojones!
Humberto Robina is the leader of the Cubans, and oh man, I've never heard the word cojones so many times in my f***ing life.
Cojones.
Yeah, this whole gang is desperately struggling with their masculinity. Plus, they made me do a frustrating boat race. It's surprising the amount of water or boat-based missions they put in this game, considering they never added a swimming mechanic.
Hell yeah, I can swim, girl.
And chalked it up to Tommy can't swim, so if you fall in the water, you just die. Great job, guys. Fucking love it. But yeah, the Cubans are a big part of this game, and they're one of the predominant street gangs in Vice City. The other is the Haitians, and they practice voodoo magic. For some reason, every time I meet Auntie Pulti, however you say it, but I never remember who she is or where I am, so she is definitely a wizard.
Erectus premature ejectus.
One of her missions, we get to fly in our seaplane around and drop bombs. Let me remind you, this was the 80s, way before drone technology, so this mission is probably one of the most unbelievable missions in this whole game. But now that we're friends with everyone in Vice City, we just, what the f*** do we do? As mentioned before, the next step is acquire assets. However, after completing these missions, I didn't know that yet. I have no more missions on my map and no one is calling me. I'm not gonna lie, I actually had to look this up because I had no idea what the hell was going on, and it turns out to progress in the game you have to go around and buy businesses and do the accompanying missions so we can make money off them.
Ooh, we them Texas boys get money, they got that oil field money.
At this point I had plenty of money, so the first thing I bought was Club Malibu. In order to actually own the club though, we needed to rob a bank, I guess. We do a couple of missions to put together a top-notch heist team, including a gunman who blows his arm off later in the game, a safecracker that needs the password from the manager to open the safe,
If you could find a manager.
and a getaway driver with crippling attachment issues.
Leave me alone, and I'll never forgive you.
For real, this guy sucked. He was an awful driver and ended up kamikazing himself for no reason during the actual heist. The final heist sucked, because my first attempt, the game glitched and caused one of the guys to just walk to the car. Like, dude, you're getting shot at. Please run. This is for you, not me. Just run. But finally, we did it, and now we're nightclub owners.
Yeah, dude, this is what we work so hard for.
And now that that's done, we get to do a couple missions for the gunman of the bank heist, Phil Cassidy. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, he blows his arm off because he's a jackass, and we end up taking over his junkyard. Easy gains, not gonna question it. Next, we buy a film studio. I'm pretty sure this director is based off Steven Spielberg. He even put a giant shark in the studio, but we're not shooting like superhero movies about dinosaurs. And you know what? I'm afraid that if I explain too much about what we're doing here, I'm gonna get a yellow $sign because of it. So we're just gonna gloss over this business.
But Stevie...
But this was a cool one. I bought an ice cream parlor that sells drugs and not ice cream because the owner hates kids. Like, aggressively hates them.
I hate babies, and I hate children.
This mission was pretty fun. I just drove an ice cream truck around selling drugs to homeless people and prostitutes. But again, we have something as innocent as an ice cream shop, and it's turned into a den of debauchery. Why can't I go buy like an actual functioning business? Like a business that's not just doing crime every day, all the day.
My name is Johnny. I'm a law-abiding gun owner, and I am not a criminal.
There's a car dealership that's owned by an ex-football player, but I'm pretty sure this character is based off Mike Tyson. Pop quiz. Does our car dealership sell A, legitimate cars, or B, stolen cars? Honestly, if you answered A, I'm proud of you because you're not illiterate, despite being such a fucking dumbass. Because the answer is B, stolen cars. Of course it's stolen cars. So the missions for this business are just running around and finding cars that were placed on the board so we could steal them and sell them in our shop. At this point, I wasn't even sure if I was doing story missions anymore or if I was just doing side activities. But still, I got no calls pointing me towards another mission. Which, isn't it pretty crazy we have a cell phone in the 80s? Like, in the 80s, there was probably 20 people in all of America that owned cell phones. And we're lucky enough to be one of them. That's nuts. But since I wasn't sure what I should be doing, I just kept grinding money and buying real estate. We were able to do this because of the previously mentioned street race. Yeah, this race gives you 40K. It's kind of long, but it's so easy because the other racers are just, it's almost like they're trying to do bad.
Ain't no water playboy with the popo. Don't know that, dude. God!
It was comically bad. The next business we buy is a taxi company. Surprisingly, this one was the only moral business in this game. Everything else was crime, but we did end up pretty much killing every other taxi driver in the city, so even though it started off as a legitimate business, it very quickly wound up just being more crime. The last business I bought was Paperworks. I guess this place just prints stuff and that sounded lame, so of course I didn't buy it. But instead of selling newspapers or magazines, we're actually just printing money, because God forbid we are ever ethical. So we steal some printing plates from other counterfeiters, and now we're literally just printing money. After completing Paperworks, we must have done something right, because we are finally able to unlock the last missions. The end of the game begins with us getting a call from Paperworks. It turns out the mob is back and they beat up this nice old man who wanted to print fake money for us. Oh no, that old man, he was pretty much my dad. I'm so upset now.
Tommy, rip that guy a new asshole for me.
But the mafia wants our money, and that's bullshit. And we solve this by killing the collectors. Imagine riding a motorcycle 2 guys deep and thinking you look badass. Okay, you might not be able to tell because I hit these guys at 100 miles per hour, but they survived this crash. So maybe being 2 guys on a motorcycle is actually the best option. But we kill all the debt collectors, and now Lance is calling us again, saying we have problems.
Tommy, it's Lance. We got big problems.
What the fuck? This guy's so emotional, I thought we broke up. You need to quit calling me. But anyways, Sonny Forelli, the guy we owed money to at the beginning of the game, is now on his way to Vice City to kill you and all your friends. However, our plan is to pay him off with fake money. But when we finally speak with him, it turns out Lance screwed us over.
Isn't that right, Lance? Sorry, Tommy. This is Vice City. This is business.
Who could have guessed that our whiny ex-boyfriend would be the one to double-cross us? There's only one way to solve this argument, and that's gunfight. Yes, love gunfight. You know that scene from Scarface where he's shooting from the stairs? Well, I don't actually, because I've never seen Scarface.
The greatest movie I ever seen in my life. The fucking guy from Blockbuster. He keeps saying I have to return the DVD. You're not gonna get it back, man.
And even though I've never seen it, I just know that that movie has a scene just like this mission. It's like the same thing. It's not a bad thing, but a little on the nose. We fight our way to the roof where we find Lance. He actually almost killed me because I panicked and the controls are pretty fidgety. But because we have a machine gun, we won. Going back to the main room of our mansion, we find Sonny. We say some things at each other.
I own you, Tommy.
Yada yada, but then we start shooting. I gotta say, this is probably a different game entirely if you have to use a controller the whole time. The machine gun with mouse aim might as well be God mode. And after we kill Sonny, we get a happy ending where Tom and Ken walk off into the sunset as business partners. Which, wow. Who would have guessed that this guy would end up being so chill?
Am I a bitch? Oh God, yes.
I thought he was gonna screw us over for sure from like the very beginning. But yeah, now that we're the most powerful crime boss in Florida, the game just kinda ends. And holy shit, did you know that GTA 3 released only a year before Vice City? And now it takes Rockstar 10 fucking years to make a game because you stupid motherfuckers won't stop buying shark cards.